The Video Game Crash of 1983 by Dominic Gurule. Has the video game industry ever failed? I want you to really think about that for a second. Has it ever failed? If you said no, sadly, you're wrong. If you said yes, good job. The most known occurrence of this happening is the Video Game Crash of 1983. Don't know what that is? Well, you're in luck because that's what I'm talking about today. Ready? Let's get into the story. Back in the 80s, video games were mostly played at arcades and on home consoles such as a Pong console, there were many variations of these, or the Atari 2600. The Atari was the most popular at the time, with hundreds of games being released for it from multiple producers such as Activision. Most games, for that time, took a long time to make. Now you may be asking, what is exactly the video game crash? Well, the video game crash refers to a time when video games basically went extinct. No more games or even new consoles were on store shelves. Major video game companies lost money and the whole industry basically went downhill. Atari, the biggest video game producing company at the time, lost a lot of money too. Some people say the crash was just a fatal quality drop in the industry itself. Some say it was just Atari's fault. We'll go into the factors that caused the crash in this presentation. And again, I bet you're wondering, well, what are the factors? I will list them here and we will later go into them in greater detail. Some of the causes were as followed: a flooded console market, home computers, some inflation, and the loss of publishing control. Now, we'll go over the flooded console market. Since video games were and still are a huge business, everyone wanted to be a part of it. Consoles were being produced left, right, and center. Everyone was trying to get some money off of the industry, and since low-quality game consoles were being mass-produced and being sold so cheap, this caused too many video game consoles for everybody to keep up with. Another reason the industry fell was because of the introduction to home computers. This may seem like a normal everyday thing nowadays, but back then, this was a new and exciting technological innovation. Computers like the classic Commodore 64 were released, and even big companies like Atari cashed in on the new innovation. This caused consoles to lose attention, so less of them were being sold. This is something that people would be excited about: cheap video games. But while the video games were becoming more widely available, this also had some side effects. Games were being sold so cheap and at such low quality that arcade machines and Atari games like Battle were like pennies nowadays, which some people call nearly useless. Now let's talk about loss of publishing control. A great example of loss of publishing control is Atari and Activision. Activision was upset with Atari because they didn't allow credits to be put in their games, as it would take up too much memory, and due to the memory limits on old cartridges, they had little to no room for even a small portion of credits. Activision parted ways with Atari, and then became the first third-party development company. The lack of credits being put in large games could mean anyone with enough knowledge to get source code of Atari cartridges could steal and sell them. So now we know the main reasons the industry fell under, but there's one thing left. Some say this was the complete cause of the video game crash, and some say it was just the final straw for the industry. I'm talking about E.T. for the Atari 2600. Around Christmas time, Atari asked a developer to program a game, but there was a catch. He only had a few weeks to program this game, whereas a normal Atari game usually takes a few months to be completed. As you would expect, the game wasn't that good at all, and this caused major uproar. This caused Atari to lose a lot of money. Well everyone, that's about all I have. Thanks for listening and watching my DISTCO 2016 project. I'll see you all later. Bye!